So we are back in civilization, sort of, with the flock cameras and the 5G, right? In the LGBT parades. And there's my cat and me. It's like Superman being told by Marlon Brando, you, my son, are here for a reason. Okay? With that, I am going to meditate. Okay? I'm going to hit pause on this, pause my thoughts, and then perhaps continue some thoughts in one of my journals. But the purpose of this recording, we're in the shade right now, is just to comment on my attempt to unplug from the constant uploads, to endure the heat, and in some cases thirst, as much as possible, in order to be away from people and to read. Not so much content creation or writing, but silence and reading. And pretty nice terrain here. And so I'm thinking about a number of different videos with a number of different themes, as well as a new channel. So the whole theme here is preserving my energy. Of course, I'm also dealing with the reality of energy drain, so I deal with that in what ways I can. The energy drain. Basically being hot and being in survival mode, in other words. There's also the emotionalism of what I've been through and not having anything to distract me from my own head. And that's its own thing. That's its own thing. Unless, of course, I read. I read and I read and I read and I become tired and I nap throughout the day. And or wake up and actually start reading with a reading light in the middle of the night and or writing, which is the goal. To be in a state of constant learning. So being that I'm in a low EMF environment is more conducive to learning, to growing spiritually, and I think also to prayer. Possibly even some of these other, energy exercises. Okay, so it's not my intention to record a long video. We have a whole summer for me to go out and record with this. But as time goes on, I really should evolve what I'm doing here with the tenting. At some point, tent somewhere where it's out of sight, where I gotta go walking into it somewhere. Just practice. Maybe at some point might have something underground, also as practice. I can mimic the elder from Dances with Wolves, and that is all I have to say. But of course, I am planning an outing at some point when the energy feels just right for water and food. I plan to go down without deviating and doing anything else. I do want to, at least in a journal, kind of like Kevin Costner in Dances with Wolves, narrate what I'm going through day after day on the campsite. And navigating the different energies. Like that one guy who was yelling in another video I have recorded, not yet uploaded, of a guy yelling as he tries to get the right positioning. You could tell he's a madman. Well, he parked very close to me, and he's now gone. And so it's Saturday. There is a festival underway. And that festival that is underway has brought a lot of people here. It's brought a lot of people. And now that I've been seen by that, whoever that is, whether it's Forest Service or BLM, I don't know. I need to continue to evolve how I'm camping, and there's no reason why I need to limit myself to this place for right now. Right, but them coming by during the day, taking note of me, of course. And what is it, approaching 11 o'clock? That is a typical time that they would be expected then. The 8, 9 o'clock to 10, to 11, to 12, period. For them to be watching this spot. So it's not a bad idea to be gone and not have stuff behind. The only reason that I'm doing it like that, right, is because I'm going to be holding on to this campsite. Okay, for at least a few days. Maybe up to 14, I don't know. And then bounce to another spot where I don't know. I'll deal with that then. I'm gonna hit pause. We'll figure that out. I am making some coffee after going to Walmart for water and a few supplies, about $20 worth of groceries, which adds up too quickly. And there was a tall white woman who was asking out into the air where she was, and I assumed that she was talking about the self-checkout cashier or manager. And I told her, but she ignored me. And it took her a full minute to figure it out. And then I went outside and saw a couple people, women, glaring at my car or looking at it kind of awkwardly. And then I turned around and saw another lady staring at me or into me. So I would say that what I feel like I'm witnessing is the children of the corn. People that are basically brainwashed like android robots, as the eugenicists that they are, to kind of look at people that are different. So, of course, I already know the answer is to have t-shirts or logos or things that redirect their attention, essentially. So I just want to make that mental note that from just a few minutes in the parking lot at Walmart, maybe it's because of the flock cameras, the energy there seemed dark. Yeah, the energy is dark there in the Walmart parking lot, so we cannot discount the flock camera connection along with just everything else, the internet, other surveillance that is already taking place with Walmart, that was already going on, that most people are going to be okay with. It is 4 o'clock. I believe it is the 21st of June, and it is a Sunday. And as you can see here, the campsite area has cleared out. I just want to make a note that today, I don't know that I slept too much. I know I just laid down, both inside and outside. So it's basically a rotation between being outside under the shade on the ground, and then going from that to inside, getting a little bit more cover from the sun. Right now I'm back out under the sun, walking around, and I've spent a lot of time at this campsite. I've spent more time at this campsite than I have at any campsite anywhere. It was at this campsite that my stuff was taken. It was at this campsite that I came back. So I think that it has some significance to me: spiritual significance, survival significance, mental health significance. In that I've been here at least 3 or 4 days without leaving. Oh, I've gone to town. I mean, I've kept my stuff here. Now I've come and gone from the spot, but yeah, the other campsite there, I've been tenting on the ground, so I'm getting closer to the earth. This is the back area of it. So just want to make this mental note that a good 4 hours of today was just survival from the heat without relying on other people. It was less of a day where I was able to mentally focus on books, right? But it was more or less laying down. And so there wasn't a great deal that was read today. A lot of it just seems to be in perpetual survival, contemplation, philosopher mode, without much desire to be on the computer or to be uploading myself. There's just a lot of time spent in my head. Don't know where it's going to go from here, but I don't want to give up on life and give up on uploading things or writing things. But right now is a necessary break, but I definitely want to document my thoughts regarding the break and to keep them more or less centered on that than the other things that I would normally talk about. It'll just eat up a lot of time and space. But when I am ready to start talking at great length, I'll hit record on the phone. But for now, this will just be some visual documentation. Here's my cat. Where my cat's been getting its water, I don't know. but it has. It's getting ready to go to the bathroom. I've been doing this whole trip without a litter box. All right. Oh, one more thing. I have been bitten, and I have felt weird afterwards. So I'm not only dealing with the heat, I'm dealing with the potential that I'm fighting something, have fought something, or will continue to. Not everything is about progress. Slowing things down for the last couple of days isn't about things permanently being slowed down. It's about being able to slow things down from the routine. A routine of going to the library, for example. A routine of going to a certain park, for example. A routine of being around certain people. Thinking that I need to be around certain people. A routine or a habit of going around the grid. A routine or a habit of having my face in front of a computer for multiple hours. That's it right there, along with other things. But then of itself is the subject of various podcasts. You know, just what we're connected to when we're online. And so I am living a very different life in that I am not online. And I'm not currently uploading. And that is basically needed for me to do stuff, for me to be sitting down in front of the computer, usually plugged in, most of the time usually plugged into the grid somewhere. And then if that's the case, there's going to be Wi-Fi around, whether I have access to it or not. There's going to be Wi-Fi around in technology. And as a result of that, I'm part of the grid. I'm being affected by the grid, and I could be affecting the grid, and the grid could be not liking me being in the grid. The grid could be allergic to me, rather than me being allergic to the grid. That came to me strongly earlier. Strong thoughts come to me in nature. And they're usually well received by people, more so that side of me than the version of me that's in the city. And that was the version of me that attracted her to me initially. Anyway, my heart is open. I'm feeling a lot of emotions, and it's good that I cut certain people off from my life, but they're in my thoughts tonight, strongly. Anyway, I need to be very aggressive, I guess, about my thoughts and law of attraction, and continue these positive affirmations. Okay, so I feel like I should be producing in order to get my voice out there, but right now it's important for me to not produce, I guess, and to reach a state of calm. I can't help but feel like time is running out, however. Like either time to use the internet, my time on the planet, that is perpetual. You know. However, unless I master this, being able to go out for days and be out under the sun, things are going to be difficult. So it isn't about this being perpetual. It's about being able to do this for not only 3 days, but to stretch it out for a full 14, and for that to be a way of life, right? And then to keep moving around. There's purpose in it, okay? And keeping costs down, okay? Gas, expenses. It's necessary in many cases to have less exchanges with other people that could bring down my frequency. Okay, it isn't about it being perpetual and forever. And in these extended, periods in time, there should be some sort of deeper epiphanies. If that isn't something, though, that I start achieving at some point, then after a period of time, some other attempt must be made. Right now, I don't know what that is, but within this experience, a solution may present itself, or a new path. Then when the time is right and things cool down, and the consciousness is ready, then I may be able to formulate something on the internet. I feel limited on the internet, and at the same time, I feel like the internet is limitless. like there's a lot of potential. A lot of potential that I haven't even, considered or gone close to. So again, as I close this particular clip here, it is then about me going into the silence, not going completely fully off the grid, but going into the mountains somewhat to get clarity. Okay, what I'm doing right now is I'm doing it in a region of the earth that is actually literally 2.5 hours from Denver, Colorado, one of the major U.S. cities. So basically, a lot of people could be doing the nature quest, the vision quest, as I am doing. And I think that's probably the most important part of the video, that this isn't really just about me. I could look back on this in the future and go, look at where I was then. It's about me being the beacon or a light to others that are either experiencing this or something like this now, or may in the future. It's ultimately about activating your soul. We have to go out at times voluntarily. Okay, I voluntarily drove myself here. I voluntarily packed myself and my stuff up in advance of the other things that came later when I was arguing with my friend and she took the keys. I'm the one who made the decision to come here. I'm the one who made the decision to leave her. Even though I keep blaming a woman, I made the decision to leave her. And I did it to save myself. We'll be back, right? We'll go back up here and continue on in our fucking desert oasis hell. So I'm sitting here at the campsite, continuing to document my journey and attempts for greater sanity. Here I am, June 22nd, 2026, and I am soon gonna pick up and go. Okay, so the guy is definitely in here probably every week during this season, the BLM guy. So I'm gonna pack up and leave tomorrow. Tomorrow I have the therapy appointment. It's in person. Then after that, there'll be some appointments set up for other healthcare related things with a caseworker or manager. I need to move those things forward. And what I want to show you right now is that I did 1 load of laundry, and I'm real proud of myself. All right, so this is what it is. And I took my time, think about what I needed the most. And there's a lot of decent clothes that I left behind. Okay, so the BLM officer came through here, but left me alone. But I also made sure that I kept things nice and tidy. So I'm going to be quite frank with you, I really don't want to be on the campsite today. But at the same time, let's get into it. I'm having trouble being around other people. Okay, so I give myself permission to leave the campsite today and be a wild one. But what I'm not going to do is drink. Okay, I'm going to hold off till tomorrow, before going to Crestone. And then at that time, or I can go now, the cat's out there somewhere. But that's what I'm going to do. All of my encounters with people, a lot of them are negative. And so when you're dealing with like homeless services and showers and things like that, they're so used to dealing with drug addicts or criminals that they stereotype even if they don't know it. It's like they got to be told, sometimes people are made homeless because they actually did the right thing. And they were speaking fast about the truth, so they were excommunicated. And that was my response. Some old lady going, oh, you took that shower too fast. Did you even use soap? Like, I try on so many, here's the main point. I try on so many levels to be respectful to people here, and they do everything in their power to be disrespectful, to have an attitude, to have a, holier than thou attitude. Look at the conditions that I'm in. Look at this right here. Health warning, health warning, health alert. Plague, tick-borne illness have been found in this area. And I already have been bitten and felt weird afterwards. Instead of society see that I have actually survived a lot of things, it gets mean to me. In the end, I stand up for myself and they resent it. So it's really sad, but I'm not going to lie about it. It's really sad that that's all I'm really seeing from women right now, and that's regardless of the race of the woman, but in particular, white women, is they're mean and nasty in these industries where they control things, where they control services, who gets what. Okay, they're not nice people. So what I'm going to do is keep my distance from them as much as possible, talk about them, tell them that I talk about them, tell them that I talk about how people treat me, with gross injustice on my travel blog. Keep it short and sweet. Sometimes tell them, see you again soon. Just so I don't get kicked out at 86th. But that's all I'm dealing with right now. But let's shift things back to the positive. So I shaved today. I showered today. I'm clean. I did laundry. I got food today. I got water today. I set up the appointment with the case manager today. Okay? And that's going to be set up for tomorrow. So it was a good day, and I'll be back with more. So I am at the North Crestone Trail, and I'm in the shade right now. Okay? Got the sound of the river behind me. And now there's that sense of isolation again that's creeping in, that has an up and a down. And my cat's over there, taking a breather before attempting any readjustment of my stuff. Wait till it gets a little bit darker and the parking lot empties out, and I determine where I'm going to be, and then from there go make some space basically so that I can sleep in the back. Doing it prematurely during the day when it's hot like this is not something that I would advise myself to do. I advise myself to not do that, and basically cooling down here in the shade with my cat over there under my car. And so we're back to 8,000 feet. Intense UV rays, intense trails, but I got plenty of water and enough food, enough books, enough paper. Okay? I have removed myself from that other campsite where there are people coming and going. It is a Monday that I am here, but it is late June. So while there were more empty camp spaces at the other spot, there was a sense of it just being desolate, hot. That's one thing, hot. And it seems like there's maybe more shade here. There are different trees here, and there's the river. That must be it. Perhaps being by the river all day long is going to be somewhat healing. So last time that I was here, I think that I was here for a total of 5 days. And I believe that I parked the vehicle up here maybe 4 or 3. And then, of course, there was one about the cat part of the time. And for energy, when I actually came to Crestone this time, the goal was to come in without actually engaging with anybody in town. But there I am seeing one person who's van dwelling, who seems to have a heightened awareness, who makes eye contact with me, who I also noticed before. So there will be people sensitive enough psychically to people that are coming and going. So to be quite frank, my stomach is a little bit upset, maybe from what I ate or sugar or the heat, but the constant heat exposure, unless I'm constantly hydrating and getting shade, is stressful. And then having the stuff with me and worrying about the cat, and then there's the negative engagements with others, basically. So it puts me constantly in a state of unease, and I have to get myself back into a state of ease. And no matter how many times though I do it, I get like bounced back into, you know, some sort of interference. Now I'm going to be making some videos about dealing with interference in the future. Life coaching videos. Dealing with people that like to bring people down in order to make them unhappy. And we may not know their real motive, but I do see these people as demons. And they're not free of hatred. Okay, so these demons are working through people right now. The hate is real. And we need to learn how to survive it. And it would be nice, I've been trained a whole lifetime, it seems people right now really aren't interested, but it would be nice if people found each other, or if I was to find people that I can, you know, work with, communicate with, dialogue with, without it being the .gov system, a therapist, without it being YouTube. We're talking about the real world. And in the real world, I don't have those things. What I'm going to do is I'm going to progress forward on social media on a new channel, and I'm going to talk about my life. And there's going to be people in this world that try to shut down my story because they don't want other people to hear my story. They don't want other people to connect with me. They don't want other people to bond with me. And so I'm going to actually start all over again with a whole new channel and get back into talking about deep subjects. Over and out. Now I'm actually feeling a surge of emotions, some of them very complicated. So I had already contemplated the idea of some sort of like detox from the grid, or withdraw from the grid. Not just here, but also where I came from. But this also has a sense of withdrawal from familiarity. You know, that which is familiar. Even if I was only there for about 40 days. There's still like this type of challenge. When I come up here, it seems, I don't know if desolate is the right word. I mean, there's cars around me, but it is. It is desolate. And so in that sense, here's my cat over here walking. In that sense, I'm in one of the more desolate areas for many, many miles. And one of the more desolate areas that I've stayed in. What does that mean? It means that every minute and every hour that's spent here is a time spent away from people, away from the general population. And what does that mean? It means there's a lot of healing potential in such environments. Solitude, silence, meditation, prayer, and then connecting with the cat. The cat loves this place. The cat loves this place. And as a result of that, it makes me feel better. Okay? So when it, you know, the temperature dies down a little bit, the mosquitoes will start the attack. But I'll start planning out where I'm going to camp tonight, and where I'm going to put my stuff tonight, how I'm going to fit my body in my car. Now I'm 46, and I'm car camping every day. I'm taking my stuff out, I'm covering it with a tarp, and I'm hiding it. That's challenging. And a good-looking guy like me, an intelligent guy like me, a charismatic guy like me, a talented guy like me, a high-energy, high-octane, hard-working guy like me, having to go through this shit at 46 when I don't deserve it, I am going to document this. I am going to put this on YouTube. Keep in mind, I am available for work. I am available for relocation. I'm going to sit here during this time period that I'm in here, and to the best of my ability, invoke this law of attraction. Okay. And confront every negative feeling and emotion that I have while here. Okay. Whether it has to do with my life, the world, these people, I'm going to find a sense of peace. I'm going to use these tables that surround me, and I'm going to write, and I'm going to read. I'm not going to go too deep into watching something or being online. That is not going to be a primary but I'm also going to allow myself to have those technologies. There's no point in never being online, never being on social media, or never uploading. There's always going to be a balance. So I'm never going to be completely free of the screen for right now. But right now, my lifestyle is not set up for me to be in front of the screen or on the internet. And recently I decided that I wouldn't go to the library as much, but I will go to this one. So that means that I have to be even stronger in my ability to be without entertainment. That means I have to confront every minute of every hour, every second of every minute, my emotions, to not let myself get sucked down. You know, it's very easy for men to get sucked down. Very few men are like me, that are philosophers, that are filming themselves on camera, that are talking about these things, that are living this lifestyle. It's not normal, okay? And I'm going to pray for the right viewership so that we can have some engagement. Talk to you later. So you've heard of Milo and Otis, the movie, but how about Alex and Sukanara? Doesn't exactly have the same simple ring to it, but it's much more of an adventure. A black cat and a guy like me, right? Both unleashed, both escaping the cage, right? Working together in ways that the humans don't necessarily understand. I've never seen a human and a cat working together the way that me and that cat work together. We've got 8 years behind us. Me and that cat have 8 years behind us. And I don't know how many years we have more, but that cat likes my voice. That cat likes my podcasts. That cat likes my spirit. That cat is a part of me. Okay? That cat is a part of me. You want to go check out the river here? So we're here in Crest Hill in Colorado, putting out some affirmations that we're going to get a place to stay. $500 a month. Okay, temporary, if possible. At least. Okay? So we can work on our writing, our prayers, our meditation. I can work on transcribing books. I feel like I have to get out of the UV radiation, but at the same time, I am here to soak it up without fear of cancer or any of that. I am here to soak up the rays. And I don't always feel good when I get up here. Sometimes I have to calibrate a little bit, but this time I am intent on high vibes as much as possible, no alcohol, a lot of hydration, and to focus my mind towards creativity. But I'd like to bring a female into my life and into the life of the cat, where possible. It is a goal of mine. Okay? The cat deserves it. And the cat is unique, and so am I. And that's what we're looking for. A soul that's unique.